Hello everyone, so today's my topic is about large-scale empirical analysis of Chinese web password. So this paper was published at the 20th Eugenics Security Symposium, and the authors are JINGJIE and Wei Li Han from both from Fudan University of China and also Wen Yuanxu from the Zhejiang University of China. So this is the agenda of today, and in first part, I will give some introduction about what's the background problem we will be analysis in this speech, and the second part, I will give some uh, like the analysis of the password setting between the different group between like you English user and the Chinese user. And the third part, I will use some like the password guessing method and how we measure the password strengths by defining defining the different method. And the fourth, we were using the same similar way, but we will apply this way like between the different website. So we will see that how it will be influenced between the different website. And the last part, it will be conclusion. So we will give some like summary of today's speech. Thank you. So here we list two questions, and the first one is does Chinese will choose more better passwords than the English user? And also another question is how we can guess them based on our different analysis of the password pattern. So here is the seven website we are using right now, and there are five Chinese website, and another two is the English website. So this will be the two groups we will be analyzing here. So the first part, let's see what's the difference of the password setting between the English user and also the Chinese user. So this is the seven website we are using for the analysis, and there are five Chinese website and two English website. Why we choose these seven website? Because unfortunately there are some like leaked password of these seven websites. So we are using like actual real password to do the analysis, and also from here you can see how many amount of the user we are including in this analysis. So this chart will give an analysis of the like the different group of the user, how they use the characters. And so from here we can see the black spot is Chinese user and the red is English. So we can see that Chinese users will be more prefer on the digital number, and for the English user, they will be more prefer like the letters than the Chinese user. And also for both user groups, we can see that they are using the sample very less. And also there are some like characters which is very highly using in between these two user group. For example, A is very popular in both group, and the Q is frequent only in Chinese. Because I think that we have a lot of like pinyin which is start with Q, so that's why we use a Q a lot in the password. And also for the R, we can see it's very popular in English. It's due to the same reason that in English we have a lot of English words which are using R, and but for Chinese pinyin we don't use R a lot, and so that's the reason. And we will do more analysis in the further PPT. So this slide will give more details about how the combination of the digitals, letters, and the letter digital and the symbols, what's the percentage of the password in different user group. So it's very clear that in Chinese website, which is in the app file, we are the digital only password take the most percentage of the password. You can see that it's around 50%. Mostly it's around 50%, but for the English website, it's only like 5 and 16. But if we add the letters and the digital, then we can see the number is pretty close. So which means the letter and the digital, which is very popular in both groups, and also in the next column, we can see that the symbols is very lessly used. It's only like less than 1%, and even it plus the letter and even it plus the letter plus digital, the percentage is still very low. So which means that for all the English user and the Chinese users, actually we don't use symbol a lot for the password setting. And another interesting finding is a lot of users are using like the keyboard pattern. For example, they just will pick up all the characters from the same row, probably like 8 button from the same row, and also sometimes they will do the zigzag, and also sometimes they do the snake. So we can see that from the analysis that for the same row, Chinese people were using like 8%, and the English they will use the 2%. So looks like the same row will be more popular choose by the user. And for me, I'm not using the same row. I probably use the same column. So I think this is also really based on the different policy between the different website. For example, in some website, it will ask you not only use the correct only use the letter. You should also use some like number and uppercase and lowercase and special symbols. And if you using only the same row, so probably it will not meet some criteria of the password setting. But we can still see that like the keyboard pattern is very become popular in the user. So we can see there are two different categories. The first category is using 8-digit, and the second is using 6-digit. And so in the first category, we can see that the Chinese people will be more prefer using like the YYYY MMDD, which means that they will put that the year at the beginning of the password of the date. And but for the English user, they will put that YYYY, put the year at the end of the password. I think that's the different habit of the different user. And also for the MMDD and the DDMM, I think it's like pretty like different from the US user and also the Europe user. I think probably Europe user will more prefer like DD in the beginning of the date, and US user will be more prefer that month at the beginning of the day. And the same result also for the 6-digit date. So here we can see that how's the data position in the password. We can see that for the Chinese users, we have like the most of the user will put the digital number in the end of the password, and same for the English users. I think this is pretty like the common behaviors between these two groups. So here we can see that we are more categorized on the like letter. Okay, so now let's go to the password strength matrix, and here is the definition how we measure the password strength metric. So there are two metrics. The first one is called alpha, which means that what's the success rate of our guessing the password, and another one is called the alpha work factor. So it's around like if we want to achieve that that success rate, how much work factor we need to like how many. It's pretty like how many numbers we need to guess guess the password. So here is the one example is like for example this is the example data set, And then we have like for password. If we want to achieve the alpha like success rate is 40%, and we just need to the work phase just need to be 1, because it can be that this password is already take like 40% of the data set. So it actually we just need to guess 1 time, then we can meet that our success rate is like around 40%. And but for this one alpha, for example, it's like 90%, and then in this case we need to like guess like 3 times, because it's like the first 3, so this first 3 will add up to like 90%. So this is how this metric works. Only pass. So let's see the graphic of the success rate and the work fact rate. So we can see that the so for the English website we have the dash line, and the Chinese website we have like the solid line. So we can see that the success rate for the at the beginning, for the success rate for actually the English website, there will be a the work fact will be higher than the Chinese website. But as that success rate improve, and then we can see that for the Chinese website, 178.com, it's improve a little bit, but for the Dudu News website, we can see the work factor increase a lot. I think this is due to the reason is the different password policy for this website, as the Dudu News is the pretty like the e-business website. There's some transaction and it's related to the like it's pretty like related to the money. And but for 175.com, it's pretty like the game website, so it's just the login to check some like materials of the game. So that's the security policy will be a little bit lower than the Dudu New, I think. So this is the result about the success rate. So this one will give like the password strength metric across the different website. For example, that we still measure the like the for the successful rate, and what's the cross-site work fact we need to have. But here a little bit different. It's not like it's not like intra website. It's like for example, I have the password for the RockU. Can I use that RockU's password to get CSDN's password, and also based on RockU's password optimal order, and how is the successful rate I can guess the other websites password. So we can see that from here the trend is pretty close to our previous chart, but the only thing is we can see this axis is different. So it's like for this one successful rate, it's not like the previous chart we are increased like every 0.1%, but here is every like pretty like 0.1, and so which makes sense that if I have the other side password, if I want to check guess another website's password, the possibility will a little bit low. But we can see the trend is still keep similar rate. And so from here we are using like the PCFG, which is for the probability context-free grammar, so which will be included like the English dictionary and the Chinese dictionary and also the dates. Then we can see that for the Dudu News, the percentage of the correct password increase a lot, because the reason is we are using Chinese dictionary, so that match will be more like a high probability for the password guessing, and the guessing numbers. So in summary, here are the conclusion of our finding. And so the first thing for the Chinese user and English user, we find that different character sets. Chinese user more prefer like they using the pinyin pin letters, and then English user and will be prefer like using the words, and also the Chinese user will be more prefer like the digital number, because in some special case there are some words, for example like I love you, which is the 510. Actually the pronunciation of this three digital is pretty close to the Chinese word. So I think that's another like reason why we're using like digital numbers a lot. And also we analyze like how's the date pattern, what's the position of the date, which will be like more preferred by different group of the user. And also we can see that if we in research, if we add like 20% of opinions to our dictionary, we can see that the efficiency is increased a lot, like by 34%. And so so I think this is pretty much. And then in the future, if what I can imagine is that if we including here what we're missing is that password policy. So probably in the future we can include like password policy. We can analyze the different password policy, where cause the different trend of the password distribution, and then it will be help a lot like analysis the password according to the different policy. Yeah, thank you everyone, especially to the internet side.